I don't think, Trice, that you can run a successful agency today without being a subject matter expert. And I just want to throw that out there. What are your
Agree.
thoughts? True or
100%
false?
agree. Yes. True. It's just part of your positioning, most likely, especially for digital or creative or planning or strategic. So basically, literally every agency there is. So, PR, everything. The subject matter expertise is the reason you add value.
Yeah, you're a fan of it because you do this every day. Like
Every day, literally.
you
Yes.
live it, and
I live it.
I know that you walk it and talk it and love it. So this is not a foreign topic to us. We have learned this the hard way. You've got to find out who values you and go hang out with them, not the guys who are going to beat you up. And so by touting your expertise, you're going to attract the people who value that expertise, and they're not going to beat you up. They're going to pay you for it and appreciate you for it. I think it looks like an episode of Sprockets on the old SNL.
Yeah.
If we break out and dance, it might be our last episode for everybody.
Yeah, we will have jumped the shark, as they say. Hey, good morning. Welcome to an edition of The Growth Engine with Ryan and Trice, brought to you by Healthy Brands. Ryan, good morning. How are you?
Looks like we are both in black. We are back in black today, aren't we? It's either that
We
or
are back in black. We haven't been on together for a while, and it is a Friday, and we are in black. So
yeah, it's black. So it's Black Friday. Is that what you're saying?
it might be Black Friday.
I think it looks like an episode of Sprockets on the old SNL.
Yeah.
If we break out and dance, it might be our last episode for everybody.
Yeah, we will have jumped the shark, as they say. So, yeah.
That's right. Look, we're marketers. We have to look the part. Like, it's all black, man.
Well, once in a while, you have to look the part. That's right. I got the Vans on. I'm wearing black, so yeah, I think I'm embracing it today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, cool.
As cheesy as it looks.
Yep.
Here we are, right?
Yep. So I know you've got a great one for us today because I like this topic a lot, and so just so everybody knows, we have not pre-discussed this in any way. I am coming in stone cold on this one. All I know is the name of the topic. But I'm a fan of some of this work. So why don't you introduce us a little bit into what you want to talk about today?
Yeah, you're a fan of it because you do this every day. Like
every day, literally.
You live it. And I know that you walk it and talk it and love it. So this is not a foreign topic to us. We have learned this the hard way through a lot of failure, and now we're here at this point.
Right.
And so the topic today is to do what subject matter experts do. Okay, do what subject matter experts do. And the reason why this topic is here. A couple of reasons, but first of all, I don't think, Trice, that you can run a successful agency today without being a subject matter expert. And I just want to throw that out there. What are your thoughts? True or
100%
false?
agree. Yes, true. It's just part of your positioning, most likely, especially if you're, especially for digital or creative or planning or strategic. So basically, literally every agency there is. So, PR, everything. The subject matter expertise is the reason you add value. Yeah. So, yes, 100% true.
And I think that I touched base on one of the episodes we did on marketing in a down economy, and it had to do with the struggling agencies were the ones who did not have this subject matter expertise, or they had it, maybe they weren't touting it or really understanding that what it was.
Yep.
And so
it was not their differentiator in a lot of ways. Yeah, for whatever reason.
There's just too many damn agencies out there now. You can't. There's too many out there to just do what others are doing and have any kind of success. You constantly are losing clients and gaining clients. And it's a revolving door. And so what can protect you, what creates a solid future for you. So if you were investing in blue chip, right, in yourself, then you would do this. And we're going to touch base on some of those points today. But this comes out of this last several weeks of coaching agencies. and having this come up where I have clients who, after we discover what they are subject matter experts of, they do one of two things usually. Unfortunately, it's not the what I would love for them to do is they either don't post at all on anything on social media regarding that subject matter expertise, or I go there and I find out they are still doing what they were doing, or they're creating a new bad habit, which is I'm posting about all kinds of stuff, marketing and marketing agency, but it isn't a micro topic of their subject matter expertise. Yeah. And so I'm like, look, you have to create this brand about you, this personal brand and the agency brand. And today they align. They are one and the same. And so agency owners or the spokesperson for the agency, like what they say cannot be random anymore. Like I'm not saying you can't go outside of this at all. I'm just saying the big picture of what you do and what you stand for has to go in line and sync with people understanding you have an expertise.
Absolutely. If there are any marketers out there, agency owners that are listening to this and thinking to themselves, well, of course we do this, blah, blah, blah. I would sit back and rethink that. And I say that intentionally because I've been thinking about this a lot myself in regard to content. And when you think about content, a lot of people, content is really kind of free flowing. They have a bunch of topics they want to talk, whatever. And it's not as intentional as it should be. And it's, to your point, like they're social. It's a gamut of shit from marketing people, right? And just like
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. They do these content marketing plans for their clients.
Exactly my point. Yes, you're nailing it. Like I've been doing this a lot lately for our new business, and I am trying to really, really figure out and hone in on what our top level pillar type topics are. And because then to your point, every social piece and podcast and thing down the road is some specific micro topic related to that larger piece, and enforcing it. That's just good SEO, right? That's a beginning of good SEO, right? So why wouldn't you be doing that for your brand? It's the same mechanism. And so our business, we're looking at it like from a leadership perspective, figuring those things out. And then from a marketing perspective, figuring those things out and getting micro, because we're trying to lay that groundwork. And if you're an agency owner, your brand and your topic like this are the same thing. So regardless if you have multiple pillars or if you're just a silo of like, we are an SEO shop, that's all we do. Okay, fine. Either way, your content mechanism is exactly the same. You just have, it has to be bigger because you have more topics. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I totally agree with this one.
It's like, you meet somebody for the first time and they talk about, in a short period, they've talked about like 10 different things, and you're trying to figure out,
like, who are they?
Who is this person? Who is this?
You're all over the place.
Like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I might be interested in this person and what he has to say, or she has to say.
I'm sure this is what people like are when they meet you and I, because we have have like a million things, and you're like, I don't want to try to tell you about all the things because it's too much.
I mean, so here we go. Yeah. Do what subject matter experts do. So number one, I've got three things that I'm going to talk about. Kind of like overarching topics here. Number one, they lead with knowledge and strategy, not services. And when I say lead with, let me define that.
Yeah.
There's no definition. It's everything. It's everything. It's lead in their talk, in their walk, in their the way they deliver services, in the way that you build the services, strategy and somehow expertise and knowledge need to come through, that people are paying for that, not just blog posts and things like that. Like they need to see that they're being charged for it and billed for it, because that is the thing that they should be valuing with you the most. So I teach agency owners, look, first of all, respect yourself more, charge for every second. If you can, like sometimes that first call is obviously free,
Yeah.
but you should never be like giving discovery away. You should be never, research. Don't ever pick up, and start doing creative for them ahead of time to win their business. That's how you lose the business. And so lead with knowledge and strategy. It is the thing that differentiates you when you have experience.
Absolutely. I like that a lot, and for a lot of different reasons. But let's say, for example, you are a niche focused agency, or you do. I used the SEO example earlier. You do SEO, and let's say you as a business leader, you're like, I was I was deep in the trenches for SEO for 10 years, and now I've hired another person or peoples who have 5, 6, 7 years of experience in SEO. Okay, good. So you got a bandwidth in SEO. You got expertise. So everything about your brand should be related to that. Everything, it should be really, really obvious when people come to your site. That's what you do. It should be very clear that's your differentiator. But the key is, to your point, you don't just have experience. Like you do, but if you're just saying I've got 10 years of experience in SEO, you missed the whole fucking point. The point was you're a leader in SEO because you're the one person that your partnership agencies are going to come to who is going to be ahead of trends or understand trends or translate trends. You're the strategy.
Right.
And that's the point. You need to talk about that because that's everything your topics should be about. You're at that level. Show that you're at that level because that's what clients want. That they can hire anybody to do the hard labor. Like they want to hire a partner.
Right.
And if you're going to charge a premium, which you should be doing, you need to be a partner and not just labor.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I'm coming right out of a coaching session with an agency owner on this topic. So it's really fresh for me because I just did it an hour ago. Right. And this is the thing I told him. It said, if you lead with the expertise, the deep, knowledge of expertise side of it, what you're doing is you're separating good clients from bad clients, meaning it's what you attract. And what I said was, are you trusted and valued for that expertise, or are you getting like beat up all the time by your clients? And I use the kind of an example. I was like, if you go to the park and you go to the basketball court and do pickup games and you get beat all to hell every day, and they're making fun of you, they're slam dunking on you, and you know what, and you get humiliated, and then you leave, you come back the next day, it happens again. You aren't being valued for your skills in this area, obviously, right? Like sooner or later they might beat you up, and you come back the next day all like bruised and everything else, like, hey, I'm back again. Like you got to find out who values you and go hang out with them, not the guys who are going to beat you up. And so by touting your expertise, you're going to attract the people who value that expertise, and they're not going to beat you up. They're going to pay you for it and appreciate you for it. So
yeah, that's a really interesting example because it could be two things.
That you suck at basketball, or
you suck at this. You don't have expertise.
Yeah.
And I guess you'll say it this two different ways. If you're an agency owner and you position yourself well and you talk about this and you're really, really good at talking about it and you get clients for it, and those clients fire you in 60 days or 6 months, then you might have to work on yourself. It doesn't mean change, because you're not lying to customers, right? You know more about the topic than they do, 100%. So you're not lying to them, but it doesn't mean you don't need to get better, right? So I think it's a really good point, because this is a really good opportunity for you to understand how good at this am I really going to be, and figure out, how do I get ahead of industry trends? How do I get in the know? How do I get more expertise, more knowledge, that's at the forefront? And then how do I position that knowledge so that benefits my clients and that they don't see me as a weak link? And I am a subject matter expert. I am a partner. I am valuable. So you may, in the beginning, have to flush that a little bit. That's actually really super normal for agencies that are new. You get a client, they think you're just going to handle a bunch of things for them, and then like they kind of figure out what your strengths are and weaknesses are, and then you kind of get better at something, maybe. And if you don't, they fire you. And if you do, you get more entrenched. And so it's a really good opportunity for you.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a good point. And it kind of leads into some of the things you're saying into my next point on this, which is, if number one is lead with the knowledge and expertise, is number two would be prove it. Prove your knowledge and expertise. Prove
Absolutely. Yeah. There you go.
You know, I repeat that I'm from the Show Me State, and I will keep saying it.
Yep.
And I'm a proud Missouri resident, and show me. We're stubborn. We don't just believe you. We want evidence, and I think most people do. They want evidence that you are what you say you are. There's too many fake people out there today, pretending to be the experts and the subject matter experts, and so we look for evidence. Now, this is an interesting thing. In proving it, if I don't prove it before I get the prospect or customer, and I try to prove it after I get them, there's something that's really bad, because then I'm proving points, trying to look like I'm backtracking. I'm trying to gain respect and trust that I didn't have at the first. Yeah. And a lot of times it just looks defensive when you're sitting in the client's shoes. You can't do it afterwards. It goes the wrong way. Don't think that you can turn it around or turn it back. You've got one chance to do it, and that's before. And so when we talk about proving it, that I'm going to start rattling off some my favorite ways to prove it. But what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you. I think it's, to be honest, if you've, just to my point I just made, if you feel like you have to prove it after you've secured the business, and you don't have literally the measurables or predictable outcomes because of the work you're doing for the client to use as a reference to say, look, we said we were going to do this and we did it. Or we said this is what the process is going to be and we did the process and then here's the outcome, right? Like if you don't have something like that, then you're in a weak position probably. And you are, and you're probably doing it because you feel the client realizing you've got a weak position.
Yes.
And so you're like, I got to do something with these guys. I'm gonna take them to lunch and, talk them up, and you're like, all of a sudden you're just spend an hour with them.
Yeah.
And maybe they're transparent with you and they tell you that, and you have a good conversation about it and you have some really good action points. You can come out of it and help them understand your value. But most likely it's already begun the downward slide of that relationship. And this is super normal in agency life anyway. I talked about it in our many, many episodes. Like the average life cycle is like 2.5 years for
an agency.
Really good clients, frankly. So, if
That's
you're
good,
longer than that.
For good clients, it's 2
for good clients, right? Like bad ones.
Like 30 to 60, 30 to 90 days. Like,
it's like 90 to 180 tops, like they know.
Well, that's why people feel like they have to have you. And we talked about that on Creating I Want That, like back a couple episodes. And it's like they have to value, they have to feel like they need you. They have to have you, right? They want you.
And they do that because you're an expert in something, right? Yeah. They hired you to be a subject matter expert. And then you come in and so for agency owners, frankly, we talked about this before too. Like if you're the lead expert in your agency and you've got a team of people and you are hired in, the client buys you. And if you hand off and then vaporize and don't exist, right? Like there's an immediate problem there because the client's value is connected to you. And so that handoff's got to be delicate in a lot of ways, or like you've got to have some sort of reoccurring kind of visibility to them, maybe not in like the daily operations or the monthly weekly meetings or whatever you're having, but at least some kind of connection, because otherwise it starts to they question it for sure.
Yeah. Here's a few of my favorite ways to prove your expertise beforehand.
Right.
Number one, we're doing it right now. Podcast. Now, everybody says, well, podcasts, there's too many podcasts. You can't look, our goal isn't to make it the number one podcast. I mean, we're lingering there at number 2 in the world right now, but I mean, no, we're not. But our goal isn't to be celebrities. Our goal isn't to.
Right.
Our goal is to have a platform that we can talk about what we have experienced, what we know, and how we can help people. Like, it's a platform to be able to prove our knowledge and expertise, and it's a way we can help build value and offer things to agency owners at no cost, and we can do it at volume.
And I think the cool part of our show is we're a combo. We know each other well. We're friends, obviously, but you've been in marketing a long time and you've owned an agency. I've been in marketing a long time and I'm the client. I worked at an agency, but I'm also the client, and I've been the client for the last 12 years. And together we're like, we're going to say all the things they already know, but sometimes they're afraid to talk about.
Right. That's true.
We are definitely going to say it.
So podcasts are great. Don't think there's too many podcasts. Just like don't think there's too many books written on marketing. I'm in an editing phase of my book. There's tons of books. The books have not been written in your viewpoint with your exact experiences, and other people want to hear about those experiences that are in your shoes.
Yep.
Don't think that you don't have value. A friend of mine told me yesterday that he started writing a book, and I said, man, that's great for the soul. It's great for the soul, and it's great for everybody who is on a journey and a path that you've gone through. And that they're going down. I that's brilliant. But writing a book is a great way to do it. And I hear people say, to be successful, you don't have to write books. You don't have to have podcasts. You don't have to do public speaking. Guess what? They're right. You don't. But you need to choose somehow, some way. You do need to show that you have expertise, or your selling is going to be shallow, cold, and hard. There you go.
Yeah, for sure. And also, your industry is different, right? When you're an agency, regardless of what industry you focus on, or if you focus on one at all, you are the subject matter expert. As a client, as a marketer, I have less need necessarily to build my subject matter expertise in super big scale, right? Because I'm not trying to win clients every day.
Right.
But if you're a subject matter expert or an agency, that's exactly what you're trying to do. And so you have to build it with some scale. You have to be very purposeful and intentional about it. You have to think about it ahead of time and work on it. And like we talked about, micro topics and, all the things, because it is a funnel. Mm-hmm. 100% is a funnel or a tool to utilize in your funnel, one or the other. So it's either generating lead opportunities or helping you differentiate and strengthen your lead opportunities, one or the other.
You brought up a good point there. And for marketers, for marketing leaders that aren't necessarily agency owners, hell, I'll go as far as business owners even. Everybody I can think of, all these are important topics, because if you need to go get a job tomorrow and somebody researches you on Facebook or LinkedIn and they see that you have expertise in the thing they're hiring you for, you're hired. If they see no evidence, they see no evidence of it, you're in the back of the line, buddy. That's the way it goes. The other topic that came out there, Trice, is agency owners who think, well, I don't want to be the one with the expertise. I've got a team and I want my team and my agency to be the one with the expertise. Sure. I get that.
Yep.
You need to get over it. Tough shit. You're the one that also has to have the expertise because you're leading it.
You can do it from the agency's brand. So if you're going to do it, frankly, it's better doing it as the agency's brand, because then who the subject matter expert is on the topic is not irrelevant, but you're funneling all of that expertise under your brand and your business. And that's good. That's why you hire experts, frankly, right? It's
but don't post and only post from the brand.
No.
People don't.
The whole company can be sharing that content.
Right. Because people don't do business with people, or people do business with people. They don't do business with a corporation or an LLC. They do business or a logo. They do business with people. And so this is a people business. And so that's a lot of what this subject matter expert thing is. And if you've got a team of 10, to your point, all 10 can display that they are subject matter experts in their area.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple in there that are going to be really, really good at this platform, right? There might be someone else who's like very comfortable in helping you write a book. Good. Partner together and do that. Like, figure out where strengths are. That's your job as a leader in a lot of ways anyway. And so if everybody there is an expert on this narrow thing, fine. Find out where the partnerships are. Who can we utilize? Because frankly, you can't scale if it's you and one person doing all of that work. You can't. And it's just good business to figure out how do we build our brand while helping our clients.
Yep.
So
all
right, number 3.
Let me finish my list. Podcast, books, speaking engagements, posting. Simple. It could be just posting. Series of posts.
Yep.
Doing short videos, YouTube Shorts, could be Facebook Shorts, could be LinkedIn. Offer courses. Courses are a great way to display your expertise. If you could teach on the subject, you're an expert. Yeah. And it can be simpler. I know that you're working right now in an industry where white papers are very well respected and thought of.
They can be.
So anything else you want to add to that list? How else do you show that you're?
No, I love the course idea. I actually took I'm a CMO of a $500 million company at the time, and I went to 2 courses taught by an agency, and didn't have a relationship with them, but they had built a platform of coursework on digital topics. They had a ton of expertise, and I'm 100% confident it led to a lot of business for them because they had marketers like me of all tiers come in and take these kinds of programs, and all the stuff I did was digital, and it helped my expertise a lot. And that's a fantastic way to do it if you have that kind of expertise and can do it. And there's a lot of ways to do that. I won't go deep, but that's a really, really good one.
Yeah, I've been asked to do agency sales courses, and I to be continued on that. I'm putting together.
That's a good one. Though.
I'm putting together a program for that. Just out of demand. I mean, I've just been asked too many times for me not to just do it and help. I fought it for a long time. And, it's one of those things where, you've been told a lot of times you have this, like a lot of this gift in this one area, and everybody was like, oh, you can sell. And I'm like, no, but I'm a marketer. That's like, and so I think that they hear the talk sometimes, and I think they're like, oh, you know what you're doing. Can you teach us how to do that? And I'm like, oh, it comes from my sales background. I was taught by sales guys a long time ago. And unfortunately, I was taught by some old school sales guys. And I worked through that period where we kind of got rid of some of those old bad sales tactics and habits, and then kind of morphed in and started working with guys who were really, more progressive and forward thinking the way that we do modern sales, and to where I'm at now, which is I teach the no sell technique. Like, how do you do this without selling at all? And I think that's like my favorite for marketing agencies, because we're creative and strategy people. We're not salespeople. So my sales strategy is not selling. It's something different.
Yeah. And this topic leans right into that.
Yeah.
Because just to my point before, you're a subject matter in something and you're talking about it and you're leaning into your strategy and leadership side of it. Today's marketing world, customers self-select, especially in B2B, right? So it's not that you're convincing them of something. It's just you're doing your job of talking about what you do and differentiation and expertise and trust. You're building that through platforms like this, and the customer is deciding if they believe you and if you can add value potentially to their organization. And then they select if they think so. Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. So I'm way over summarizing, obviously, but lean into that. That's the no sell method in today's marketing world. So
yeah. The third point you're trying to get me to earlier. I'm there. Finally there. Sorry.
All right.
Good. My third point is they build a tribe. You've heard this. Okay. And we're going to bring this home for a second. They build a tribe. They build clients, fans of what they think and say. They build a network, and that there's kind of a formal way of that's done. It could be like a group on LinkedIn or Facebook. It could be a formal group, could be an organization, could be just connections that you have. But it all goes people offline. It could be just people that like you and believe in you. You're part of my
favorite,
tribe.
frankly.
Trice, you're part of my tribe. For sure.
Absolutely.
It's like I've worked hard at building not just a quantity of connections on LinkedIn, but I've worked hard at actually trying to post things I think of and my thought leadership. I try to put it out there on several formats. And I would say that although my connections are a certain amount on LinkedIn, I would say my tribe is actually like triple to quadruple that amount of people. And it's been done with intent. I've built that tribe with intent. And I've attracted people who like those things, who they like me, or else they wouldn't do it. They like me, like the things I say, and they are going to be my fans and follow me. And again, it's not about me being a celebrity. It's about I like hanging out with people who go along with a lot of my thinking. Now, I challenge myself often by hanging out with people who don't think the way I do.
Right.
And it's part of staying healthy, I think. But my tribe typically goes along with what my thinking and strategies are.
Yeah. You and I are funny because we, and our mutual friend that introduced us, same way. We've all been involved in sales and marketing at some level, different ways, and so we agree on a lot and we disagree on a lot, and we are real comfortable with each other, and we can talk about it. And I think that's what a good tribe does, to be honest. On your point there, I really think like the new ideas, the fresh ways of looking at things, other perspectives come from people that you feel totally safe with, and you can talk about all those things, especially in your career. I actually, on that point, I had dinner with a friend from college this week who is really done well in his career, and he's been offered an opportunity, and it's a little out of the norm for him, the type of opportunity. And he's just like, and it may have a pathway to the C-suite. That's a whole different fucking game. And so, okay, like, let's talk about that. That's a different thing. And we're friends. And so he's comfortable having that conversation, and I'm comfortable having that conversation. And I'm not telling him how it's going to go, but I'll give him some things to think about. And, I think that's really, really valuable. But and related to this topic, that subject matter expertise is why he was comfortable having that talk with me, not just because we're friends, but I have context. And so he sought someone out in his own tribe of people that had something related that he could glean and take into his own life and use to help him understand what's the best step for him.
It's interesting.
That's exactly what we're talking about here.
It's interesting you say that, because like a lot of people ask me, Ryan, how can you owned an agency for 11 years. Right. I've been in marketing and sales my whole career, but right. Actually the owner, and they say, how can you work with an agency owner that's been doing it for 20 years? It's basically what you just said. It's we have common ground. We can relate. I understand. We're going to agree on a whole lot, but I have something very different from the way they're thinking now that can help them get through it. And that's just my business knowledge that I have in general.
Exposure.
I can help people get past they hit the
Yeah.
ceiling, get over the hump, whatever you want to call it. And I can help them get there regardless of what stage they're at. And that's that differentiating. And they won't always agree with me. I mean, they don't always agree with me. And all I ask is
absolutely,
try it, because what you've been doing isn't working. Try it. And then let's get back to talk again. But
I like the SMB portion of this, the subject matter expert portion of this, is in a lot of ways, just by doing all the things we say and we just talked about, your tribe will find you. They will self-define.
You're right.
But that if you just are the if I build it, they will come mentality, you're not doing yourself justice. Because if you're, to your point, if you are intentional and you go after figuring out your tribe, understanding who they are, one, all the things you're working to do get better, and two, your support mechanism around yourself of people not, that are clients or friends or colleagues or whatever they are that are in your tribe become a lot stronger, and they become advocates, which is what you want,
Right.
obviously, right? And so you want
Yes.
connections and networks, but you want advocates. That ultimately the goal for any customer or any partner is to advocate on your behalf. And so there's a tremendous amount of value there.
Yeah.
And I have a really small agency group that I work with that I recommended on a project, and they were, really good. But they do like a networking lunch, and it's so much fun because it's people from across different groups, and that's their tribe. And it's really it's a lot of fun. And I think I get more out of that kind of stuff than anything else, because I get revved up talking to people who are like excited about what they do. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
Exactly.
No, I'm excited about what I do. Like
Exactly.
so anyway,
Yeah.
great point.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up with this point. For people who are subject matter experts, the one thing they do, and if you're trying to get clients, grow your agency, grow your awareness, personal brand, all those things, when it comes to that subject that you're an expert at, it's a religion to subject matter experts. It's a religion. They walk it, talk it. It is who they are to the core. They don't
Literally
go
defines
off,
them. Yes.
They do not go
Agreed.
off track. They stay with it. And if you're too general on what that subject is, you'll know it because you'll be failing miserably.
Yep.
If you're really honed in on it, you'll see the results of that. Stick with it. It could take 6 to 12 months. And after 6 to 12 months, like, you can really own a category and be viewed as one of the top subject matter experts in an area if you've right sized that.
Yep.
So it's religion. Consistency is the hardest part for people. Consistency, staying on track, and making it religion, and just being so hard on yourself about, like, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do this for a long time. Yep. And I hope I don't get sick of it, because I'm going to make a real go at this. And that's what subject matter experts do until they break through, and everybody who is a potential target audience for them knows who they are and knows what they stand for and what their mission is.
Absolutely. Yeah. The commitment thing is really the point. Like, figure out how you're going to do it, what you're going to do, and what phases that comes in, because you can't do it all at once. Commit to it for 12 months. And I guarantee you will see a significant difference. You'll feel different about it. You'll have different types of people involved. You have different types of customers and employees probably too. Like, there's so much there that comes from a strong commitment to something like this.
Yeah. Well, tune in for our next episode, where Trice and I will attempt not to wear the same colors again.
Yes.
It's not a team uniform. Yeah. That was an accident. So,
yep.
I think that's what my parents said, Trice.
Probably.
All right. Well, please share this episode, and like and comment down below. And if you want to hear a specific subject, please comment that. We'd love to hear back from you. And we like to hear what agency owners want to see and learn about. So anyway, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.